Kevin McCullough.
Hi, Kevin McCullough. Why would I find myself in the middle of a hot Texas afternoon in Waco, Texas, in the middle of July, to talk about Christmas, the Nativity, the story of Christ's birth as it's never been told before? Because that's the subject of the brand new Broadway-level musical called He Rules the World. It's a rock opera, if you will, about the birth of Jesus. So let's go find out what's going on, talk to some of the people behind it, and give you a little taste of what's coming. Come on.
And I'm on the scene of something that has not been done a lot of, at least in the faith-based space in recent years. And not that I cover that in particular, but those of you that watch or listen regularly know that I'm a committed believer. And I noticed a trend a couple of years ago in which the Christmas story was taking on new life. Last year, Dream Bethlehem was a monster film hit. And this year, someone's hoping that a stage production of the story of Jesus might encounter some bubble up as well. So here we are discussing it with one of its lead principals. David Gaschen is the co-producer, and he's also talent coach and someone that you might know if you're a bit of a Broadway buff. You know, on Fridays I talk a lot about what's going on the Broadway scene. But David, it's good to have you at the Kevin Show. Thanks for being here.
Oh, sure. My pleasure.
1,300 performances when I got the press release, but at dinner last night you said it was 1,500 performances of The Phantom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Just tell the truth. That's all I ask you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
see.
We're past the point of no return.
And immediately, there we've gone.
There we go. Right down the rabbit hole. It was 1,300 when I was all the way through my second year in Phantom on Broadway. I'd done it in Europe for 4 years.
Right.
And then throughout the tour and then other stuff, I'd done it 100 a couple of times.
What's the magic of the musical, and particularly the stage musical? As being part of the Broadway Association here in Manhattan, I have the chance to interface with a lot of this community. And the connoisseurs of Broadway are very different in terms of their experience and what they anticipate than that of film or other projected media. What is it? What is the magic?
I think what theater does is it takes people away. And for thousands of years it's taken people away from their regular day life. And each journey is different. So each journey is almost like a different genre of music, so to speak. Some people like this style of theater. Some people like the big Les Mis, Miss Saigon Phantom. Some people like a more drawn down version, a little bit more simple, and now these new musicals are coming out that are really poppy. I mean, it's
right.
Pop.
I've seen an abundance of these with Springsteen and a bunch of people that have done one-man shows or retrospectives. I mean, the Who's Wiz this last year was obviously quite big.
Oh, yeah.
But there is something about the community being together and observing this story together, in a room together, that makes it, and COVID really tried to do everything it could to kill it, and it didn't. We're back better than ever now.
Oh, yeah. Well, and that's the wonderful thing, I thought Phantom for sure would close as COVID because it'd been running for 33 years, right? But there's something so tough about the Broadway community, the actors, the producers, the stage managers, that they just won't give in.
Yeah.
They'll do everything they can. And that when I was there for all those years on Broadway, it's just cohesive. It's like an army that won't break.
Yeah.
And it's because their greatest love is to bring stage work.
I've always wondered about the Tonys because it's shown nationwide, but really a New York-based audience that understands it more deeply. But you guys are changing that dynamic with He Rules the World, which is your new project.
Yes.
And we're actually sitting in Waco, Texas, taping this.
Yes.
Far away from the stages and bright lights of Broadway. Why'd you get involved? What was it about this production that drew you, and what do you want to accomplish?
Well, when I first was involved, a friend of mine who was one of the marketing people at the beginning, she had asked me to be part of it because I was kind of well known as far as being Phantom and being in the Broadway world. And I'm from Texas originally. I live in Frisco, Texas, just north of Dallas, and I'm from Lubbock. as I talked to her, she said, I want you to try this. And she sent me the music, she sent me the book, and I never heard anything like it. I never, you hear these songs that were old hymns that Peter Emerson has totally rearranged and reimagined. You'd never think you would hear Bring It Towards Jeanette Isabella the way you're going to hear it tonight, right? Or the way you'll ever hear it, or any one of those songs, the way he put it together in chronological order. And then when I heard all the music, I thought, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in because I get to use the gift God gave me to hopefully spread the good news of what Christmas is actually about. It's not
Well,
about
with the
that.
emergence of The Chosen and last year's Journey to Bethlehem and a number of other big projects, the biblical narrative is coming back to the mainstream discussion in a way that it had been kind of relegated in years past.
Absolutely.
Do you think He Rules the World has a seat at that table?
Oh, 100%. 100% because it's true to the gospel. It's true to the Bible. It's 100% biblical, but you don't feel like you're being thrown the Bible at you, right? It tells a story that people can relate to, that's familiar to them. Everybody pretty much, whether you're a believer or not, has heard the birth of Christ, story.
We're all aware of it.
Yeah, we're aware of it. But for those people who've heard it and never accepted it, it's the opportunity to accept Christ again.
Yeah.
It's the opportunity for them to hear how much God loved us, that He gave us that Son, His Son.
The thing about theater, and we hear lots of this in New York on a regular basis, but it's so expensive. And particularly if there's something in the 38 theaters that are in Broadway.
Yeah.
Does He Rules the World belong there?
I think He Rules the World could easily belong there. Because it's a seasonal show. You would think it could only be done at Christmas, like the Broadway Spectacular, the Radio City, like that type of thing. Which it could easily be done, but if you listen to the music, you can listen to that music.
It's going to be around year round.
Yeah, absolutely.
David Gaschen, thank you for taking a moment with us. We appreciate it. Best wishes on He Rules the World, and friends, thank you for watching that Gaschen Show.